Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Rachel, David, Aaron, Stacy, Scott, we're going to all of you in about 3 minutes. Indonesia thinks that the bird flu's a bioweapon. Well, we already knew that, but now the government's talking about it as the truth begins to come out. We'll get into that as well. Before I go to your calls, I got this email, and I don't know if this is true. I got this 5 minutes ago. I was reading through some email. Trey brought it into me, a big stack of it, and I was going through it. We all read what you send in. And I did some Googling and couldn't find it, but I believe the email I've been sent. Only because I've seen the exact same stuff here in Austin, Texas. And it's just an amazing example of total police state and color of law. So let me just read you this email. And the person gave me their full name. They don't give their name, but I'm still not going to give it. But if Darren M., that's his last name, that's the initial of his last name. If Darren M. can get in on the line, I know the lines are loaded right now, but when you hear a caller hang up, try to call in. If Darren M. wants to call in and tell this story, or anybody else who's had this happen to them, because I know this goes on. I know it's expanding all over the country, but I don't know about Abilene, Texas. Now listen to this. Comments. Below is the result of your feedback form. It was submitted by Darren M. on Tuesday, February 5th. It's now, of course, continuing here. It says, my 16-year-old son got in some trouble yesterday for talking in class. He was not asked to write sentences or to stay after school. He did not receive a notice to take home to his parents. No, sir, he received a citation, a ticket. He will have to appear at the Taylor County Courthouse sometime during next week, and there will be a possible fine. Let me explain that in a minute. When my son expressed his shock and amazement over such a drastic punishment, they told him to get over it because it's not that big of a deal. In fact, said the faculty member, handing him the citation, this is the 5th ticket I've handed out today. I'm completely blown away. Now, let me just walk through this first. Only a police officer can give you a ticket. Lockheed Martin, the big defense contractor in San Diego, was caught shortening yellow lights, more than doubling the amount of accidents. Deaths resulted, by the way. Shortening yellow lights from 4 seconds down to 2 because they wanted you to run through it, even a foot over the line, which we all do all the time. You know, those things come on quick. You got to slam your brakes on. I don't run red lights. It's dangerous, not to mention I don't want the ticket. You just slam your brakes on, and the people would slide out in the intersection, wrecks. But that isn't what beat them in court. In San Diego 5 years ago, it got removed there. Another company put another system in because Lockheed Martin, with no officer, was just using the photo cameras to give you tickets. And they've lost all over the country. They don't care. One red light camera can make $5+ million. They've made more than that before. So they'll just fight the tickets, fight it in court. The cattle don't know. They don't care. Doesn't matter if it's criminal. But here's the deal. A teacher can't give you a ticket. She can call a cop, and then if he sees something like drugs or violence or something that's illegal, that's in the criminal code of the law of the state, then he can do something. A teacher, they can't just suddenly say it's illegal to talk. Now, that said, the schools are induction centers to get your children either on welfare, in psychiatric care, or in prison. That's in the federal documents. We've had the number 2 Department of Education. I mean, she ran the thing, had a policy on. She has the documents. We carry it now. Deliberate dumbing down. The book weighs like 8 pounds or something. It's the size of the Dallas phone book. I mean, this is the plan. It's systematic. It's sinister. The teachers and cops don't know. They're compartmentalized and brainwashed like the rest of us. To get your children into prison, to get them into the system, to get them on drugs, that is the prescription drugs, get them on welfare, one way or the other. So when you leave school, you won't have the rights of someone who isn't a felon. Either you're mentally ill, you're on welfare, or you're in a prison system. Now, here in Austin, Texas, with the ASAP program starting in 1998, and we got them sued and they had to back off, I mean, we went down there and stopped the program. By the way, though, years later, they crept back with it, and it's back, and I don't have time to go fight it myself. You're welcome to. I used to have to go to the county commissioner's court every week. We had to get parents to file lawsuits, and we beat it. Now, it's federally written, mandated program. They get money for it. It's got different names, different areas, but this is what happens. You are late to class 3 times, you are charged with criminal truancy. Now, let me say that again. The state law at the time said 14 truancies in a semester, unexcused, criminal truancy kicks in on the child and the parents. We would go down and say, here is the law, but we had local newscasts about it. We went and shot video of people's houses where it happened. Parents who heard about it on the TV show and radio show were waiting with cameras. If your child was late to class 3 times, they would count that as 1 truancy. They would claim criminal charges. Then they would bring in false charges that violated state code, and they even built onto all the high schools and middle schools portable buildings that have judges in them, and they call the ignorant parents in who have no idea about which way is up, and Judge Jean Muir was on local CBS News. We got to find that video and play it here. We played it on local TV. And she just grandstanded for television. She's the head family court judge. It's not even a real court system. It's all color of law. But she isn't normally there. She was just there to grandstand for CBS cameras. And it shows the young 11-year-old. He has missed class once, been late 3 times. She points her finger and she goes, you're going to juvenile hall. You're going to spend months in jail the next time you do this. Do you understand, young man? He said, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry. He starts crying. And she goes, sign here. Now, see, if you're being convicted of something in a real court, it isn't sign here. It's like a third world country. It's a contract fraud. You are signing your child over to probation. They know you don't know procedure. They know you don't know due process. So for something that didn't violate any law, that all they could have was administrative discipline in the school, they are now and then the next time he misses or is late, you know what's going to happen. Now he goes to juvenile. Now he's hanging out with coke heads and drug heads and thieves. Now he's going to end up running with those guys 9 times out of 10. He's going to rob houses. His life's over. It's over. And that's what they want. The drug cartels own the prisons, own the private prisons. They administer the public prisons, the government prisons, and literally they want to pack them full of your kids. They run the narcotics. They run it all. Now let's just be clear about this. Okay? I'm sick of it. Now, we went down there. Lawsuits were filed. We showed they were violating the law. They sent the Travis County SWAT team in. I'm sitting there in the chair. They sit down, start threatening me. This was all over Austin News. I mean, they just, like that was going to get to me. I've gone past the point of no return. I'm sure one day you're going to have me in a pit ripping my teeth out with pliers. But it doesn't matter. You're still going to go to hell, you demon. There's some people that just don't care what you do. There's some people who aren't afraid of you anymore. You're feeding on these little kids. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Now, I've seen articles where if you don't finish your homework, they criminally charge your parents. That's not real law in Houston, Texas. They can't do this. They trick you into signing documents when you're there. Just like they trick you and tell you it's the law, you got to show up to a courthouse to be injected when there's no law. The government's criminal. Period. Period. And so I don't know about Abilene, where you talk in class and the teacher gives you a ticket and then you show up and they say there may be a fine, you notice, because it's not real procedure. It's not law. You get there, and they're going to trick them and say, all right, sign here, and you're on probation for talking in class. And now they got you. The fees, the fines, all of it. I'm telling you, kids, if your parents are dumb enough to put you in a government training camp or they're so poor they can't help it, keep your mouth shut. Realize you're in a camp. Realize enemies run it. They're there to hurt you. You keep your mouth shut. The kids want to come beat you up, you just run, because now they charge both people. You're being assaulted, you'll be charged too. Can't even defend yourself. Keep your mouth shut. Never get in trouble. Don't play their sports because they'll try to set you up there. Don't hang out with people at the school. If you're forced to go to one of these death camps, and that's what they are, you just sit there and you keep your mouth shut. But act a little normal. They're claiming you've got a psychological problem and try to do something to you there. Just act friendly. Keep your mouth shut. Realize they're brainwashed zombies running it. Total idiot scum. Have no idea what they're part of. School nurses pushing drugs on the kids. You just stay out of it and you beat them. You beat them real good. And you eat organic food and you drink good water. And you go for nice jogs, but make sure you jog only at a track. Cops will arrest you. We're jogging down the street. It's happened to me, or they've tried to. So just realize it's a cesspit of evil. They know young people aren't informed, so they target you. Once you're a little bit older, they don't target you as much. You are under attack. You are literally being hunted. Okay? Beat them. Dress nice. Be healthy. Never use their illegal or legal drugs.